He takes off his belt, uses it as like an Indiana Jones lasso. Somehow, just barely gets Dio off that. Where was he training to do this? What's good, YouTube? Welcome to our very first video of Fight Analysis. Fight Analysis is pretty much this new series that I came up with where I'm going to go through goated anime fights and we're just going to analyze them. Pretty much go over the good and the bad of the fight. Like you get what I'm saying, right? We're pretty much going to go over the fight and I pretty much am going to express my opinion that we most likely will all share. And yeah, it's not something to be taken too seriously. You can take this seriously if you want. Like I will be taking this seriously. And with that being said, I decided to start the series off with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I'm not really going to be doing anything but the main fights. And so while there is a lot of great fights in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I only really want to cover the final fight, the fight between the big bad villain, with the exception of this very first video, which isn't exactly the final fight, but it is the same matchup, Jonathan versus Dio. I chose the fight which I thought was the best of the season, where Jonathan fights Dio, not when he has Hamon, actually when he was fighting him in the mansion. I feel like that fight is better than the final fight. I really think that this fight definitely proved itself, showing both characters' motivation, drive, and determination. So let's not waste too much time and let's get right into this series. I'm trying to get past the plot. So I want to say this is where the fight really starts. This is after Jonathan confronts Dio about him poisoning his father. Speedwagon reveals himself and they're all talking about the antidote and all that sort of stuff. And so Dio's pretty much cornered. And then he claims that he's throwing away his humanity and reveals the mask. I'll use your blood. Damn. Clearly the fight starts here because Jonathan got stabbed. Oh! I might have misspoke. Jonathan's dad got stabbed. Really using that royal blood. And so yeah, the mask right here just looks like it's killing him. No one really truly knows the full effects of the mask except for Dio. And they all just, yeah, they start blasting. This scene, definitely a goated scene. Like, they were so quick to shoot Dio, and now they all think he's dead, right? Because why wouldn't he be dead? They put 10 bullets in him. Maybe 20. I didn't count. Jonathan's dad dies right in his hands because of Dio. And then everyone's talking about Jonathan getting the will or whatever, legacy, I don't know. They turn around, they look, body's gone. Mask is still there, but Dio is nowhere to be found. Ooh! First victim. And Dio, of course, is just hanging from the ceiling, probably setting the standard for the image of vampires. I feel like in this time, no one really seen a vampire, knew what a vampire could do, that type of thing. And so Dio, he has all this power, and the first thing he decides to do is stand on the ceiling like he has Naruto chakra feet and take his first victim. Yeah, he's always been a styler for sure. And of course he jumps down, yeah. And he hit him with that JoJo pose. Hot take, this might be one of Dio's best poses. His first reveal of vampire. Dio has the whole room stressing. Ooh. And Jonathan was the first one to take action and point his gun upward. The funny thing is, the officers were so quick to shoot Dio. Once they see that Dio got back up, they're afraid to point their guns at him. Not Jonathan, though. Jonathan is not afraid to point that blick at you. Even if you ate some bullets, you could eat some more. Like, come on now. And he passed on that trait to Joseph, actually. Joseph is not afraid to put some bullets in a vampire. Oh, his gun's shaking. Gun's shaking. Ooh. And he finally shoots. But there was 2 bullets that got shot here. One hit Dio. One with a steady aim and the other hit some random glass. You could see which one just by this image alone. Which one of them had this steady aim. Actually, now thinking about it, I think actually only 1 bullet was fired. And that was Speedwagon. Because Jonathan's doesn't have any smoke. But just look at how Speedwagon is so locked in. Like he was Jonathan's stand back then. Before there were any stands, this was his stand. And now they get to see it up close, right? Dio's heal ability. Ooh. And then Dio just starts taking some victims. sucking out some. I mean, reading this quote just by itself might be a little wild. He's sucking out that man's life. Context is everything, boys. Throwing a body at other people is crazy. But the craziest part about this is throwing a body, and that body not only killing people, pretty much shredding people. How hard must he have thrown that body, that shriveled up body, for it to have that effect on other people? It's crazy. And okay, at this point, Jonathan's fearful. Yeah, he hasn't seen anything like this. This is not on his bingo list. And finally, once Jonathan has collected his wits, he's ready to fight. He's ready to go out right here. We all know he has a girl, a reason to keep living, but his dad just died right in front of him, so he has to put up a fight. That's probably what's going up in Jonathan's head. Jonathan comes in, protecting Speedwagon, doing what he can. And this is really their first clash. Jonathan didn't even shoot the bullet, so this is actually Dio's and Jonathan's first clash of this fight. Dio's first, sticking the spear right in his left arm. And so Jonathan takes this time of Dio talking to run away. Or not exactly run away, but at least get the advantage by being out of sight. Flames! And this is Jonathan using his wits. Trying different things. Dio has a bunch of different powers. Well, he must also have some weaknesses. So Jonathan's now trying out something. Unfortunately, fire isn't the actual weakness of Dio. It's like the sun. And so now the whole house gets set on fire. Jonathan is ready. He's not afraid to take that initiative and start doing something crazy. With the spear still in his neck, it starts climbing. Yeah, if that's not a trap, I don't know what is. Ooh! I forgot about that. Definitely forgot about that. Speedwagon is blown out of the building, like, damn. Thank goodness he landed in the fountain. Now there's only two living souls in the house. And this is like the Dio moment. This is the Dio moment of the entire season. If anyone remembers Season 1 Dio, this is what they remember. This is what JoJo's puts in your face so much. Dio climbing up the walls. Not even climbing, walking up the walls. And of course he's posing, hand in the pocket. Like, I'll copy that walk. Not like up a wall, but like walking down the street like that. Just out of respect for Dio. Now they are on the roof. Uses the small part of the spear as a parry. An object to block, you know. Not just quick thinking. Goated thinking. Because a kick from Dio at this point could kill Jonathan. Like, just one kick. Seeing how he threw someone's body and it sliced everyone else up? You need metal to block Dio. And even if Dio realized his full powers right now, he definitely could have killed Jonathan. But thank goodness he's still learning. Got that flashback. All the bad things Dio's done. Ooh. So at this point, Speedwagon assumes Jonathan's plans is for the fire to burn Dio faster than he can heal. And with that, assuming he'll die. Like, if he can't heal faster than he's burning, he'll die. To get that sort of flame, to get that sort of heat, he needs to burn the whole house down. And so that's what he thinks the plan is. Which, you know, pretty much ends up being the plan. But to get him in there, you got a football tackle right through the house. You know how goated Jonathan is for this? We don't know how reinforced his walls are, right? But he full rugby stance. He's going for that full tackle on Dio. Catches him off guard. The full formation, the full tackle through a wall. It has to be a wooden wall. It does look like a little concrete. We see the blocks here. I want to say it's reinforced. Reinforced with a small layer of concrete. That's what my guess. And he was planning on dying here. I have nothing left. Nothing but my life. You do have that one girl. You do have that one girl. Let's not forget that. Ooh! And Dio is not going to take that as a way to go out. Like, yeah, he definitely had a way to counter that. So yeah, he falls into the flame abyss, right? But guess who still has that thing that was stuck in his neck for the first half of the fight? Jonathan. And look at that formation. Jonathan was really like that. He did miss. But quick thinking. He takes off his belt. Uses it as like an Indiana Jones lasso. Somehow, just barely gets Dio off that. Where was he training to do this? This is probably the most insane part of the fight. And got his ass, pulled his ass down. And Jonathan was really about it. Stabs him with the knife that he killed his father with. Why did he still have that knife? I don't know. He pulled that knife out of his father and kept it for revenge, for the sentiment. I don't know. I don't know. And we know how this ends, right? Dio impaled on the thing in the middle of the house. And now we all assume, oh, Dio died or something, right? We actually assume Jonathan died too. But he ends up getting saved and he wakes up in the hospital the next day. This fight is the best fight of this first season. I really feel like they didn't top this going through the rest of the fights and stuff. Like, they introduced Hamon. It does make for some pretty clean stuff, but this was pure guts and like intelligence, bluffs, like everything. If I had to rate it, definitely a solid 8 out of 10. I don't know what I'm comparing it to though. Like if I'm comparing it to all of anime fights or just JoJo's Bizarre anime fights, I want to give this a solid 8 out of 10. It's short, it's simple. Dio didn't really die to plot, he died to his own hubris because he was a newborn vampire. He didn't know all of his abilities, so he was definitely still learning. Jonathan was just learning how to counter him, if anything. This didn't exactly kill Dio either. But we're going to end that there. Let me know if you like the series. We're definitely going to be doing a lot more fight analysis. So, keep up with the series. Drop a like, drop a sub. Catch you guys in the next one.